Here are 30 animals that look confusingly similar to another animal, to the point where they are basically both a wannabe and a lookalike of that certain animal. Enjoy the show. Echidnas. These spiky guys use their long tongue to slurp up ants for food, and they look somewhat like a hedgehog but with larger spikes. However, the first species was previously thought to be a myrmecophaga anteater, and despite appearances, they are egg-laying mammals called monotremes, shell ducks. They look strikingly similar to actual ducks, but in truth, they belong to their own family, Tadorninaea. Dugong. It looks quite similar to a manatee, which is what it was previously described as. But the only way to distinguish these elephant relatives is by the tail fin, and the lack of flipper nails. Rhea or South American ostrich. These are the largest living birds in the Americas. And they do look just like African ostriches. As a piece of truth, they were originally thought to be an ostrich subspecies from South America, peccaries or javelinas. For a long time, these oinkers were thought to be pigs. But what's is that these pig ripoffs belong to their own family. Like a skunk, they unleash a bad smell from a scent gland on their back. Along with their appearance, there's a reason why they earn the name of skunk pig. Donkey. This is a cartoony horse in real life. And they are also called Sorry, guys. I just got beat up for saying the butt word. Now back to what I was saying. Of course, donkeys are relatives to horses. Goose. Geese are large waterfowl that belong to the genera Asner and Branta. They look quite like a duck, but with a longer neck and larger size. In 1758, Carolus Linnaeus previously put geese in the Anas genus of ducks. Alpaca. It looks similar to the llama, which is why it gets confused with one another. It has more wool and looks fluffier than a llama. But despite that, llamas are heavier than alpacas. Emu. This is both an ostrich and rhea lookalike. However, it was previously classified as a cassowary. It actually belongs to the cassariforms, which also features the cassowaries. Muskox. It deserved its name due to its fur releasing a stinky stench. It looks somewhat like a bison, and was once thought to be a cattle. But the only relative it has is just sheep. Shelled goose. These look a bit similar to actual geese. The only difference, however, is that they belong to the same subfamily that contains the shellducks, Tadorninae. Alligator. There are 2 living species of alligator, and they look somewhat identical to their relative, crocodiles, to the point where they do get confused with one another. But the only difference is that gators have a more rounded snout tip than that of crocs. Rat. A rat looks damn identical to a mouse, its relative, but a rat tends to be bulkier than a mouse. Takin. Its appearance is why it earned a nickname, New Goat, but its only relative is goats. And it was previously thought to be in the same tribe that contains the muskox. Legless lizard. It looks confusingly similar to a snake, but it lacks the belly scales that help it slide easily. It can't flex its jaws to consume a larger animal. It has eyelids and ear holes, and a rounded fleshy tongue. Wolverine. Even though cute, it is so aggressive that it lent its name to a Marvel character. It looks somewhat like a small bear, but in truth, it is the largest living land mustelid. Hyena. They are well known for their signature laughing call, and they look quite similar to dogs. So much so, in truth, that they were previously described as dogs. But truth be told, they are more closely related to cats. Swan. Out of all the waterfowl, they are the tallest, heaviest, and have the longest wingspan. But despite their size, they are usually peaceful. However, they can attack an opponent. Swans look quite like ducks and geese, their relatives, and are essentially the real-life ugly duckling in adult form. Sicilian. These unearthly aliens look like a cross between a worm and a snake, but in truth, they are amphibians. Musk deer. Because of their tusks, they are also called vampire deer, and they got their musk name coined for their stinking scent glands. They look like true deer, but scientifically, they are not deer. Chevrotain. This tiny artiodactyl is known for its cute appearance and signature saber teeth. It looks a bit like a deer, hence its nickname, mouse deer, but it looks more like a small antelope. Squid. Typically, these are small critters, but the biggest ones can get as big as cars. Although a tad bit similar, they look distinctly different from octopi, or octopuses. Vicuña. This is a wild relative to the domesticated llama and alpaca. But when looking at them, the vicuña has thinner hair and a skinnier appearance. Wallaby. These macropods are small and cute, and are related to kangaroos, which are larger and more muscular. Caiman. These crocodilians are usually small, but the largest caiman can get as large as an alligator. They almost look like crocodiles. But truth be told, they are closely related to alligators. Pronghorn. It looks strikingly similar to antelopes and gazelles. But in truth, these are not antelopes nor gazelles, and they are instead closely related to the giraffe and the okapi. Patamelon. These are small and cute macropods, and they are related to kangaroos and wallabies. Wildebeest or gnu. They look quite like cattles, which is why many people mistake them as cattles. But as a matter of fact, these are nothing but just large antelopes. King cobra. Ophiophagus hanna is the longest extant venomous snake, and is called a cobra to describe its defensive hood. But in truth, it is not a true cobra from the Naja genus. Instead, it is the only extant species in the Ophiophagus genus. That is to describe its hunger for snakes. Saw shark. No, not Helicoprion. I mean to say, Pristiophoriforms. These cartilaginous fishes have a shockingly similar appearance to sawfish, to the point where they often get confused with one another. But another sawfish ripoff would be these extinct sawskates, especially the ones that Spinosaurus usually hunted for food. There we go. And those were 30 animals that are quite frankly a wannabe of another animal. If you learned something new, please like and subscribe for more.